for week 24, in place of the timeline, we are doing all the presidents. So we will sing their names, and for each name, we will have hand motions.
We have Washington. We just pretend to wash ourselves. Here, I'll fix this way, probably better. So, Washington, Adams. So when we say Adams, we pretend to hold a fruit and take a bite out of it like Adam in the Garden of Eden. Jefferson, we just do ASLJ. Madison, we do the ASL sign for mad. We just bring our hand down in front of our face and then show a mad, angry expression. Monroe, we pretend to row. Adams, again, we do the same sign, so Adams. Jackson, another J. Van, we're going to be pretending to drive a van, of course. Harrison, everybody just touches their hair. Tyler, we pretend to fix our tie. Poke, or poke, just poke our arm. Tailor, we pull the ends of our sleeves as a tailor, like a tailor fits clothing, or makes clothing. Tailor, Fillmore, we just do the ASL sign for full. Fill. So Fillmore, Pierce, we grab our earlobe, like we have a piercing there. So Pierce. Buchanan, we cover our ears like a very loud cannon is going off. Lincoln, which also used the sign in the time when he popped up in our timeline. So we do 2 L's and put it on our head like his hat. Lincoln. Okay, so then we just do another ASLJ. Johnson. Grant. So we pretend that we're holding a wand and we are granting wishes. Hayes, we just wave like we're saying hey. Garfield, we pretend to be eating lasagna, like the cartoon cat. Garfield. Arthur. For this one, Arthur, we're just going to do an R. It does start with an A, but you don't really hear it. It mostly just sounds like Arthur. So we're just going to show our R. Cleveland, C. So Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison. We're going to grab our hair again. Cleveland. All right, another C. McKinley, an M. So this row is lots of letters. M for McKinley. Then we have Roosevelt. So for Roosevelt, we're going to do this with our hands to show like a rose opening. Roosevelt. Taft. So we do this motion because it's like taffy, it's stretchy. And Wilson. Just going to do our ASLW, just like we did in when he popped up in our timeline. Harding. So for Harding, we're going to stomp our foot really hard because we'll probably be standing when we say this. So Harding, Coolidge. Just going to fan ourselves. Coolidge. Hoover. So for Hoover, we're going to be pretending to vacuum or pushing a vacuum because Hoover, you know. Okay, Roosevelt, we're going to be doing the rose again. Roosevelt and Truman. For Truman, we're going to cross our heart. So it's like when you're telling the truth, I crossed my heart. Truman. Eisenhower, just point to our eye. Eisenhower. Kennedy, ASLK. Johnson, ASLJ again. Nixon. So we're going to do the same thing, a big X like we did in the timeline song when he popped up. Nixon. Ford. Okay, Ford, we're just going to hold up the number 4. So Ford. Carter, we're going to pretend to push a cart. Carter, try to make these very literal just to, for the kids to remember the actual name. So Ford, Carter, like pushing a grocery cart. Reagan, we're going to come back up with an R. Reagan, Bush. Okay, our hands are just going to come out almost like the shape of a bush. So Bush, Clinton, we're going to come back with our C. Bush, again. Obama, we are doing an O for this one because not only does it start with an O, but that it makes a very definite sound in the name. Obama. Trump. Okay, so we're just going to make a really big T. So this is our bottom arm, and our top arm is just going to come right on top of it. Trump. Now let's see if I can sing through the whole thing and the hand motions.
Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, and Monroe. Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, and Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, and Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, and Hayes. Cleveland, McKinley, Roosevelt, Taft, Wilson, Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, and Clinton. Bush, two more to say. Obama, Trump, our 45th president. It's for him we pray. That's the whole president's song and the hand motions. Math. The identity law for addition and identity law for multiplication. The identity law for addition states A plus 0 equals A. The identity law for multiplication states A times 1 equals A. Okay, so that's how we're going to sing math. If that doesn't sound familiar, it is from the old Folgers coffee commercials. So one more time. The identity law for addition states A plus 0 equals A. The identity law for multiplication states A times 1 equals
For this one, for the activity, I'm just going to bring in a whiteboard that I have. It's a good size. And then the kids will just take turns coming up and writing this out one at a time while everybody else is singing it. So we'll say the identity law for addition states, and then they'll write A plus 0 equals A. Then they'll stop. And then everybody else will say the identity law for multiplication states, and then they would write as we sing, A times 1
And then they would just
equals
take
A.
turns doing that, writing it out on the board while everybody else sang it. And that is math. English. A linking verb makes an assertion by joining two words. These are our last 3 linking verbs in our song, and we're going to use hand motions like we have for all the other ones. And then we'll sing the whole song together with all the hand motions. So for this one, it is stay. We're just going to point down in front of us, like almost like we're giving a dog a command. That's what it sounds like. So stay, smell. We're going to point to our nose, and then grow. And all together. A linking verb makes an assertion by joining two words. We'd link arms and then unlink. Feel, become, remain, taste, seem, appear, look, sound, stay, smell, and grow.
A linking verb makes an assertion by joining two words. Feel, become, remain, taste, seem, appear, look, sound, stay, smell, and grow.
So that's English, and we would just all be doing the hand motions and doing the new ones over and over again, and then singing through the whole song. History. Tell me about the Portuguese Empire. This is going to be a fun one to act
I have
out.
a cutout, very rough shape of Brazil. So, and then I'm going to put that on the floor over here. I'm going to pick somebody to be Napoleon. I'm going to pick somebody to be John VI and somebody to be his son. And then Brazil's going to be on the floor over here, and then Portugal is just going to be over there. Then the Napoleon is going to be over in Portugal with whoever is John VI. And, be shaking his fist, Napoleon will be. And then John VI is going to run over here on the other side and sit down on our Brazil and just kind of look defeated and scared like he's hiding. And then later his son is going to come in on Brazil and just throw his fist up in the air because he declared it in...
Tell me about the Portuguese Empire. When Napoleon threatened the Portuguese Empire, King John VI fled to Brazil. His son Don Pedro the first declared Brazil independent in 1822. Independent in 1822. Okay, so that's the Portuguese Empire acted out and sung over and over again.
Latin, fifth declension noun endings. It is impossible to have 5 aces in a deck of cards. So that helps us remember that the 5th declension noun ending starts with ace. A-E-A-E-M-A. Ace, A-E-A-E-M-A. Ace, A-E-A-E-M-A. Singular 5th declension. Ace, ebum, ebus, ace, ebus. Ace, ebum, ebus, ace, ebus. Ace, ebum, ebus, ace, ebus. Plural 5th declension.
Science. What are some markings on the globe? I'm going to start this one with just saying what it is and showing where it is on a map for the visual learners
So
in
the
there.
latitude are the imaginary horizontal lines that go through a map. The longitude is the vertical lines that go through the map. Prime meridian is the one right in the middle, right there. You can see that. Then there is degrees, which you can't see them. You probably can't see them from there, but 60 degrees right here. Then we have 120 degrees west. We have 120 degrees east. It's right at the ends of the latitude and longitude lines. And then the northern hemisphere is the whole north part of the globe above the equator, and then the southern hemisphere is the whole south part of the equator.
Okay, so this one is, I would just say, chanted. Science. What are some markings on the globe? Some markings on the globe are latitude, longitude, prime meridian, degrees, northern and southern hemisphere. What are some markings on the globe? Some markings on the globe are latitude, longitude, prime meridian, degrees, northern and southern hemisphere. Latitude, longitude, prime meridian, degrees, northern and southern hemisphere. And then for science, along with taking turns with Bob, I'm also going to throw the dice in here just because we don't have our timeline, and everyone really likes the dice, and I want to be able to use it for one subject.
Somebody asked me what I had on my dice. It's easier to say it in a video, I think, than type it out in the comments. So I have one dice, and it says, bring that up, patty cake, popcorn, plug nose, and spin, like a mouse, fly. So that's one dice. The other one is sitting, standing, fast, loud, slow, quiet.
Roll the dice, take turns with Bob, and chant science. So that's what science looks like. Geography, North Atlantic. With this one, it is not a song. This one is actually a story.
So, in the North Atlantic Ocean, there lives a very scared rubber ducky called Iceland. Iceland was scared and yelling for help because of a huge tornado called Greenland that headed right for him. His only hope was the Strait brothers could save him. Only the waters could keep him safe. So, Davis Strait held the Greenland tornado back from the west, while Denmark Strait stood between Iceland and Greenland with bravery like a true hero, keeping Iceland safe and pushing on it from the east. And still today, Davis and Denmark Strait are keeping the Greenland tornado in its place and from ever catching little Iceland. The end. So again, we have our Davis Strait here in red, our Greenland, which looks like a tornado, Denmark Strait right here in purple, and Iceland, which looks like a scared, yelling, screaming rubber ducky. And that's North Atlantic geography.
And that's week 24.